of Chanyuan celestials. Open the windows, the sunlight and fresh air will come in. Take a broad view. You will see the faraway mountains fresh and green. Stay and study in life at Chanyuan. A new life will begin. Your spirituality will grow, and your thinking will transcend the limitations of human nature and ethics. The symbol of the International Family of Life at Chanyuan. An explanation of the nature of F coins, i.e., the currency of the heavenly kingdom. The serial number of the F coin. The name or code of the F coin holder. The shaded area depicts a flat map of the earth. When you possess the Life at Chanyuan F coin, a divine lamp will rise in your heart. This lamp will illuminate your path forward. Follow the light, and you will reach your dream destination. Remember, let the dead deal with the affairs of the dead. I wish you to become a super wealthy individual in terms of spiritual and soul wealth. 人生的最高境界, the highest realm of life. Xiefeng, December 18th, 2012. Translation edited by Qin Yu. Last night, the west wind withered the green trees. Alone, I ascended the high tower, gazing at the distant road to the end of the sky. The belt of my robe is gradually getting looser, but I do not regret it. It is for him that I've grown pale. Amidst the crowd, searching for him countless times, suddenly I turned my head, and there he was, at the dimly lit crossroads. These are the three realms of life discussed by the great scholar Wang Guowei in his work, Words in the World. At 30, one stands on their own. At 40, they are no longer perplexed. At 50, they understand their destiny. At 60, their ears are obedient. At 70, they follow their heart's desires without overstepping bounds. These are the life realms according to Confucius, the sage of China. Opening up the south wilderness, tending to the simple and returning to the field. Rising early to cleanse the wilderness, carrying the hoe under the moon, diligently working in the early hours, returning with the plow at sunset. Dogs bark deep in the lanes, roosters crow on top of mulberry trees. Picking chrysanthemums by the eastern fence, leisurely seeing the southern mountains. These are the realms of life according to Tao Yuanming. Heavenly realm, human realm, and earthly realm. The realm of gods with goodness, no desires, wisdom, and no illnesses is the heavenly realm. The realm with the 7 emotions, 6 desires, birth, aging, illness, and death, and the troubles of desires is the human realm. The realm of monsters, demons, ghosts, and goblins is the earthly realm. These are the 3 realms of life in Taoism. The desire realm, the form realm, and the formless realm represent the worlds inhabited by sentient beings with desires, encompassing lust, emotions, physical desires, and food desires, which belong to the desire realm. The world that transcends desire yet retains material existence and is inhabited by sentient beings with pure physical forms belongs to the form realm. The world inhabited by sentient beings devoid of material substance, existing solely with the 4 mental aggregates of sensation, thought, action, and consciousness, is the formless realm. These constitute the 3 realms of life in Buddhism. Falling leaves fill the empty mountains. Where do I find your footprints? Empty mountains, no one around, the water flows, and the flowers bloom. The vast sky endures through the ages, but the wind and moon only last a moment. These are the 3 realms of life in Zen Buddhism. Satisfying physiological needs, security needs, emotional needs, esteem needs, and self-actualization needs. According to American psychologist Abraham Maslow, these are life realms from low to high. Realms indicate the spiritual and mental heights of a person, reflecting the essence, taste, quality, and value of their life. As the life and life guide in Life at Chanyuan, what kind of realm do I aim to help the Chanyuan celestials achieve as the highest in their lives? No debts, owing neither money to anyone nor emotional obligations, going with the flow and living freely. Free from any worries, there are no concerns about sustenance, lodging, travel, or the cycle of birth and death. The mind abides nowhere, holds no attachments, and experiences profound serenity and joy. Without desires or wants, simply flowing with nature, feeling content regardless of location or activity. When the wind rustles through the bamboo leaves no trace. When geese pass over a cold pond, The pond shows no shadow, neither concerned about poverty nor eager for wealth. Non-contention with the world, no judgments or evaluations of the people and the world. As if one is watching the world of mundane affairs like an ant kingdom. Everything follows its nature, naturally, without trying to change anything. Let wolves be wolves and sheep be sheep. Do not try to turn wolves into sheep or sheep into wolves. The course of life. What's it like, I wonder? Perhaps like a wild goose treading snow-mired paths. In passing, it may leave a mark on the mud, but the goose flies on without looking back. Meanwhile, throughout one's life, behold the world of truth, goodness, and beauty. Ignore the phenomena of falsehood, evil, and ugliness. Harmony with heaven, merging with the Tao, uniting with heaven, earth, and all things, without self or form, being flexible, harmonious in stillness and motion, and advancing and retreating effortlessly. Abundant soul wealth, abundant spiritual wealth, and abundant material wealth. Accumulating abundant treasures in heaven, knowing your future is extremely broad and brilliant, understanding that your life's future resides in the picturesque, heavenly high-level space. Strictly adhering to the way of the greatest creator, biting the blue mountain and refusing to let go. Its roots are firmly embedded within the shattered rocks. Despite 1,000 strikes and 10,000 blows, it remains unyielding against the winds blowing from all directions. Regardless of how the wind blows and the waves surge, it's better than taking a leisurely stroll in a courtyard. Above is the highest realm of life I want to guide the Chanyuan Celestials to reach. With no debts, no concerns for the future, no desires, non-contention with the world, harmony with heaven, unity with the Tao, 3 types of abundant wealth, treasures in heaven, and strict adherence to the way of the greatest creator. Having a realm indicates that a person tends towards nobility and elegance. Without a realm, a person tends towards vulgarity and coarseness. The higher the realm, the greater the spiritual and mental freedom one gains. The lower the realm, the easier it is for a person to be entangled in worldly matters and deceived by fleeting appearances, resulting in less freedom. Climbing to the highest realm of life, and life is the direction we are striving for and the goal we want to achieve. After 3 years of practice in the second home of life Changyuan, we climb to the middle of the mountain. It is certain that as long as we live in the second home for 8 years, 80% of the Chanyuan Celestials will surely realize their dreams and achieve their most beautiful ideals. The realm of Chanyuan Celestials is very high, and Chanyuan Celestials' future of life and life is very beautiful. 简单点再简单点. Be simpler, much simpler. Xiefeng, June 11th, 2012. Translation edited by Qinyu. A complex mind leads to a complex life. Excessive pursuit, greed, and possession result in dissatisfaction and a rocky destiny. Life is but a journey of the soul through the human world, and in the end, we must disembark. Whether it's against our will or as we wish in the end, it all comes to naught. So, the most beautiful life is a simple life. Since life is a journey, let us enjoy the scenery along the way and travel light. Do not linger on the past landscapes. Better ones lie ahead. Do not regret the sights you have passed, as everything is but a fleeting dream. Live simply, even more simply. Do not burden yourself with weariness, anxiety, and troubles. Do not harbor ambitions and aspirations. Do not seek lasting fame. Do not hope for others to admire you. Discard the idea of having a name. Seek only inner peace and a clear conscience. Do not crave knowledge and learning. Earthworms and little birds live content lives without knowledge or learning. Those who claim to be experts in both Eastern and Western knowledge are fools who do not comprehend the true meaning of life. We aim for joy and happiness at every moment and in every situation. Do not covet material possessions. Do not buy houses, cars, or stash money in banks. Simply have enough to meet your needs, or even better, have nothing at all, like the residents of Life Changyuan's second home. They possess nothing but lack for nothing. Do not constantly expect to become a celestial, a Buddha, or reach heaven. Attachment is a hindrance. Live in the present. As long as every present moment is joyful, the ultimate ending will be blissful. True cultivation requires no cultivation. The highest realm of Buddhism is non-practice, and the highest form of martial arts is non-technique. The most refined management is non-management. In heaven, there are no books. Everything in existence, every phenomenon, is the best revelation. Therefore, do not read books all day long, especially complex and burdensome ones, and especially those that encourage the pursuit of success, wealth, and fame. When you are idle and bored, read the little birds and the flowers, read the wind, clouds, rain, and snow. Read the bees and ants, read the bamboo, willow trees, and the small streams. Do not cultivate relationships with people. Do not flatter or fawn over those with power and influence. Do not envy the rich and famous, and do not chase after or imitate celebrities. Live naturally, walk your own path, cultivate your own way, speak your own words, be your own person. Entrust your life to the greatest creator and let the Tao manage your life. Everything else should follow your natural inclinations. Do not pass judgment on others, even if they are demons. Everything in the world has a proper arrangement. The mouth should not despise the anus for being too dirty, and the anus should not be envious of the mouth's nobility. Do not criticize others, for each person has their own life path and unique character and strengths. Speaking ill of others reveals your own inner ugliness. Do not learn too many skills. Having one skill is sufficient. If you lack any skills, possessing a single virtue is enough to lead an easy life, whether it's honesty, diligence, kindness, simplicity, trustworthiness, or sincerity. Life is brief, so why make yourself busy and tired? Avoid extravagance and waste. Do not consume what is unnecessary. Do not indulge in what you don't need. Do not enjoy excessively. Do not crave excessively. Do not pursue excessively. Salted turnips and steamed bread of corn are good food. A bamboo fence and a thatched cottage together offer beautiful scenery. Even Taoist temples and monasteries are not as beautiful. Where roosters crow, dogs bark, and children play, that is the beauty of life. We should not overly discuss cultivation. It's a form of attachment. Avoid traveling far and wide, seeking high-level masters to discuss how to cultivate. Many methods of cultivation are, in reality, costly and laborious. Do not harbor delusions of acquiring supernatural powers and special abilities through cultivation. Instead, work diligently and live honestly. Cultivate your own way and earn your own keep. Do not pray for windfalls from the sky. Live simply, even more simply. Learn to enjoy a simple life and do not let desires, anger, or ignorance pull you around. Take things as they are, associate with others by following predestined relations, act in accordance with nature, and take advantage of opportunities as they arise. Don't stir up trouble without reason and don't seek trouble when there is none. Calm yourself and enjoy your life. Spend more time with the sunrise, the sunset, and the bright moon. Communicate more with flowers, plants, insects, and birds. Sing, dance, walk, and play to your heart's content. Chanyuan celestials bask in the radiance of the greatest creator. Jesus Christ, Buddha Shakyamuni, Laozi, and sages throughout history accompany us. Your life, including your sustenance, clothing, housing, and every aspect of life, is under the protection of the divine. Do not worry about anything, do not be afraid, do not be anxious, do not prepare for the future. As long as you understand that clear water is more important than strong coffee or other beverages, and as long as you keep the water, everything else will come. Your wishes will eventually be fulfilled, and your ideals will certainly be realized. 共产主义社区第二家园的八大特征 8 characteristics of the communist community, the second home created by Life Genuine. Xiefeng. February 27, 2013. Translation edited by Qin Yu. The communist community, the second home, created by Life Genuine, has been in existence for nearly 4 years and has now entered a stable and harmonious phase. Although it is not yet perfect, it is approaching the ideal state of life that humanity has dreamt of for thousands of years. This is humanity's blessing and the hope for its development. The establishment of the communist community, the second home, is inspired by the teachings of Jesus Christ, Buddha Sakyamuni, the sage Laozi, Prophet Muhammad, and the wisdom of sages throughout history. It is from the description of ancient Greek philosophers like Plato and the Chinese sage Confucius. It is rooted in the thoughts of the founders and pioneers of communist ideology such as Marx, Engels, Lenin, and Mao Zedong. It is also influenced by the ideals of utopian socialist thinkers and practitioners like Owen, Saint-Simon, and Fourier. Furthermore, it originates from the desires of the hardworking, kind, simple, sincere, and trustworthy masses. It represents the culmination of over 2,000 years of human experiments with utopian communities. Today, all of this is not only put into practice but has also succeeded. The success of the communist community, the second home, is not accidental. It is the crystallization of the thoughts of all human sages, the result of countless Communist Party members dedicating their lives to it. The road to this success is paved with blood, tears, humiliation, and hardship. Today, the hard work of our predecessors has blossomed into beautiful flowers. We should cherish it and protect it with our lives. Summarizing our thoughts and experiences, the current communist community, the second home, possesses the following 8 characteristics. Taking the way of the greatest creator and implementing holographic management. The way of the greatest creator, also known as the way of nature, is our guiding principle. We always follow the principles of nature. It is also the scientific approach to development. Holographic management means no management because the highest form of management is non-management. Everything follows the principles of nature, and our management is entirely human-centered. This is why you won't find any leaders, offices, or managers in our community. Everyone is a manager, and everyone is a master of the community. There are no hierarchies or ranks. Everyone is equal, possessing nothing yet owning everything. Members who join the communist community, the second home, have nothing to call their own. Personal belongings and money are no longer private. Everything belongs to the community. Each person can enjoy everything the community has to offer as needed, without extravagance or waste. Everyone working to the best of their abilities, asking for and taking only what they need. Everyone has different abilities and strengths. In the second home, as long as each member puts in their best effort every day and does the work they are capable of, it is enough. We do not require uniformity, and no one is forced to do tasks beyond their capabilities. Everyone's needs are met without any allocation issues. Having no marriages or nuclear families. Marriage and families are the breeding grounds for selfishness, sources of distress and pain, and the root causes of endless resource exploitation and waste. Therefore, there is no marriage or families in the communist community, the second home. The young being well educated and the old being looked after properly. All aspects of a member's life, including food, clothing, shelter, transportation, and healthcare from birth to death, are taken care of by the community. The elderly are looked after by the community, and the children are raised and educated by the community. Parents no longer worry about their children, and children no longer worry about their parents. Politics and religion are not practiced. The communist community, the second home, refrains from engaging in any political activities or participating in any religious rituals. All our activities are guided by the principles of nature. We do not practice idol worship, nor do we celebrate holidays or perform rituals with political or religious connotations. We cherish nature and strive to protect insects, birds, animals, and the environment. All members engaging in physical labor regardless their backgrounds. Once someone enters the communist community, the second home, everyone is equal. There are no hierarchies, and we don't care about a person's background. Whether you are a PhD or illiterate, rich or poor, scholar or shepherd, high-ranking official or commoner, male or female, white or black, everyone becomes a laborer. Regardless of one's background, we only value the present moment. Being flexible, acting tactfully, and bending according to the situation. The community operates on the principle of least resistance, where all affairs should be handled flexibly in accordance with the principle of keep the main but change the others according to the situation. Dharma sets no rules. It is ever-changing. In order to enrich our cultural life, enhance our inner quality, and cultivate a love for life, a love for living, and a love for life, our residence is frequently changing, work shifts as needed, personnel are constantly changing, and recreational and gaming activities are ever evolving. This keeps our community in a state of constant change, making it impossible for two people to stay together for an extended period. Everyone is always in a novel environment. This approach prevents the maximization of entropy, thus preventing stagnation. It stimulates everyone's interests and thinking abilities. This approach also prevents the formation of cliques and warlordism, ensuring the eventual formation of a harmonious global family. These 8 characteristics are the distinctive markers that set the second home apart from other societal production and living methods. In addition to these, the communist community has many other characteristics. For instance, we do not celebrate birthdays, avoid one-on-one romantic relationships, build the environment into a model of ecological civilization, creating an idyllic living environment, eschew personal worship, speak the truth as it is, have specialized and responsible division of labor in all tasks, allowing people to freely choose work according to their strengths and interests, avoid complaining and sharing grievances, refrain from discussing others' personal matters and privacy, avoid comparisons, maintain transparency in all matters, abstain from mystical or secretive practices, and more. We have paved a sunny path for humanity in the communist community, the second home. We have essentially achieved a state where everyone is happy, joyful, free, and blessed. The secret to elevating life to the realms of heaven, becoming celestial and Buddha, lies here. 第二家园混沌管理简论. The second home's holographic management briefing. Xiefeng. January 21st, 2013. Translation edited by Qinyu. The second home is established to introduce a new way of life for all of humanity. One of the primary objectives of this new lifestyle is to foster harmonious coexistence among individuals, within society, and with the natural world. It envisions a united global family living in peace, free from international conflicts, regional tensions, ethnic disputes, religious and political divisions, as well as the troubles, pain, and unhappiness often associated with marriage and family life. Additionally, it aims to significantly reduce crime, eliminate unemployment, famine, environmental pollution, and other global challenges. To achieve this ideal, the key component is the worldwide implementation of holographic management. The essence of holographic management is non-management, which means minimizing human intervention and instead adopting Tao management, following the way of nature rather than human will. The universe is holographic. A change anywhere affects the whole. Any changes in the universe impact the Earth, and any changes on Earth affect all of humanity. There are no isolated events or isolated phenomena. For example, if one person gets angry, that anger will affect their family members, who will, in turn, affect their co-workers, and those co-workers will affect their nation and country. This nation and country will impact the entire world. From this, we can deduce that one person's anger has an effect on all of humanity. Thus, any event that occurs worldwide will have a butterfly effect on all of humanity and the Earth. This implies that the actions and words of an individual, a family, a nation, a political party, a religion, or a country affect all of humanity. There is no separation between internal and external, no concept of not influencing each other, no such thing as private matters. Everything is a public matter. All internal affairs are global affairs. The Earth is a whole, and local events have global implications, just as an individual is a whole, and even if a splinter pierces their toe, it will have consequences throughout their body. To ensure that all of humanity lives a happy life, global holographic management must be implemented. Holographic management is the most ideal form of governance in theory, but can it work in practice? The second home, created by Rejuvenation, is here to experiment with this mode of management. If this management style proves effective in the second home, then holographic management can be promoted worldwide, ultimately achieving global holographic management. Holographic management comprises 8 major connotations: achieving resonance between humanity and nature, becoming one with the Tao, and aligning with the will of the greatest creator. Embracing adherence to natural laws, operating based on scientific principles, engaging in production and lifestyle guided by the philosophy of scientific development, and minimizing human interference to the greatest extent possible. Maximizing the reduction of laws, regulations, and rules, allowing qualities like truth, goodness, beauty, love, trust, and sincerity to naturally blossom from the heart, revealing one's Buddha nature. Eliminating the soil that gives rise to private ownership, the family, and marriage. Promoting the concept of a global family, where all of humanity lives a life like that of the second home, sharing resources and dissolving political parties, religions, and countries to promote ethnic integration. Ensuring that every member of society becomes a creator of soul, spiritual, or material wealth. Minimizing the number of intermediaries, especially reducing administrative personnel. Shifting from management to service, where all managers become ordinary servants without any special privileges or treatment. Everyone contributes according to their abilities and receives according to their needs. Avoid extravagance and waste, relying on self-awareness and voluntary participation without administrative orders. No one can impose their will on others for any reason or excuse. Individuality and commonality harmoniously unite, aiming to allow individuality to fully blossom while maintaining perfect alignment between individuality and commonality. At the macro level, it forms a cohesive whole, while at the micro level, it consists of independent individuals. Everything unfolds with a focus on people, rather than for a specific goal, ideology, economic interest, noble ideal, or moral height. The aim is to allow people to savor the process of life, to enjoy the pleasures of childhood during childhood, the interests of youth in their youth, the passions of adolescence in their adolescence, the subtleties of middle age in their middle years, and the leisurely pursuits of old age in their later years. Life should not be a hardship driven by fixed objectives. The prerequisite for implementing holographic management is that individuals must first undergo soul purification. Without soul purification, holographic management cannot be implemented. Soul purification is a complex and challenging endeavor. If this endeavor is not executed correctly, so-called holographic management will remain an illusion and never become a reality. Based on the practice of over 3 years in the second home, it is evident that holographic management is not an unattainable fantasy but an ideal that can be realized. All of humanity can realize its most beautiful ideals as long as society and all of humanity provide understanding, support, and patience while they wait. Holographic management is humanity's way forward. There is no other way. Let's calculate the value of 1 crown of Chanyuan celestial name. Xiefeng. September 28, 2011. Translation edited by Qinyu. This is a matter of values. Some people consider money worthless, while others see it as essential for life. Some view friendship as spiritual wealth, while others see it as a tool for personal gain. Some see labor as a source of happiness, while others see it merely as a means of survival. There are also those who underestimate or belittle the value of labor. The number words for celestial titles are not expressed using one or a few, but rather 1 crown of celestial or a few crowns of celestials. Therefore, the meaning of 1 crown of celestial in the title is 1 Chanyuan celestial name. Now, let's calculate the value of the name of a Life-Chanyuan member. First, what is the purpose of a person's lifelong efforts? According to the famous American psychologist Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs, human beings strive to fulfill various needs throughout their lives. These needs include physiological needs, safety needs, social needs, esteem needs, and self-actualization. Physiological needs are the most basic human needs, such as food, clothing, shelter, transportation, and sexual life. Safety needs include job and personal safety, life stability, protection from diseases and disasters, and having a secure future. Social needs mainly refer to the desire for care and support from family, groups, friends, and colleagues. Esteem needs involve the desire for self-respect, a sense of accomplishment, and acknowledgement from others. This includes aspiring for wealth, status, power, and a favorable reputation, aiming to earn respect and recognition while avoiding being disregarded or underestimated by society. Self-actualization needs are the highest level of human needs. They involve the desire to complete work that corresponds to one's capabilities, to fully unleash one's potential in the workplace, to become the expected person, to ultimately strive for perfection, to experience the highest state of beauty in life, and to elevate oneself into a celestial being. Now, let's consider how many people have truly fulfilled their physiological, safety, social, esteem, and self-actualization needs. Most people struggle to fulfill even their basic physiological needs, let alone their higher-level needs. Only individuals like presidents, billionaires, and Nobel Prize winners can be said to have achieved these five needs from a worldly perspective. How much effort does it take to become a president, a billionaire, or a Nobel Prize winner? Or in other words, what is the value of being a president, a billionaire, or a Nobel Prize laureate? Alternatively, how much money does it take to purchase the titles of president, billionaire, or Nobel Prize laureate? Would it be unreasonable to assume that it takes $100 million to acquire the titles of president, billionaire, or Nobel Prize laureate? Now, let's look at Life-Genuine members living in the Life-Genuine second home. Each member has their physiological needs fully satisfied. They have no issues with food, clothing, shelter, transportation, and sexual life. They have job security, occupational safety, life stability, and low exposure to diseases and disasters. They have a secure and stable future. As for social and esteem needs, Life-Genuine members live in a community of hardworking, honest, sincere, and trustworthy people. They spend their days in a harmonious and loving atmosphere, sharing meals, living spaces, and working together. They respect and care for each other, never hurting or quarreling with one another. No one will keep lost articles found on the roadside, doors will not need to be locked at night, and everyone can enjoy life without concerns about personal conflicts. Therefore, Life-Genuine members have their social and esteem needs fulfilled. Have the Chanyuan Celestials in the community satisfied their highest self-actualization needs? Absolutely. Within the community, Chanyuan Celestials fully unfold their true selves, living freely and independently. There is no one to manage or supervise them. They experience the utmost beauty and essence of life day and night. Moreover, they have the prospect of reaching the 1,000-year world, the 10,000-year world, and the Elysium celestial island continents, where they continually encounter the peak experiences of life. They live in a beautiful and serene natural environment, surrounded by a humanistic environment that values truth, goodness, beauty, love, trust, and sincerity. Life here is beautiful, leisurely, and joyful, and individuals are realizing their true selves. It reminds me of the profound words of the famous philosopher Nietzsche, "Become who you are." The Chanyuan Celestials living in the second home have not only discovered themselves but have also become individuals with complete, independent consciousness and integrated personality. It can be said that Life-Genuine members in the kingdom of the greatest creator, which is a truly communist society, the Life-Genuine second home, have achieved more satisfaction in the five major human needs than presidents, billionaires, and Nobel Prize winners. So, let's calculate. How much is the name of one crown of Life-Genuine celestial worth? 八大人生观解析及禅院草的人生观. Analysis of 8 major life views and the life view of Chanyuan Celestials. Xiefeng, January 12, 2012. Translation edited by Qinyu. A life view is a fundamental perspective and attitude that a person holds about the value, meaning, purpose, and the chosen path to achieve those purposes in life. Life views vary greatly, and in the current state of human society, there are roughly 8 major life views. Materialistic satisfaction life view. This life view believes that life is primarily about maximizing material gains and pleasures, while considering everything else as intangible and unprofitable. Consequently, they prioritize the pursuit of material benefits and pleasures as life's highest principle. They spare no expense and employ any means to chase and acquire wealth. Their entire existence centers around the relentless pursuit of financial riches. Their approach to learning, work, thinking, communication, and relationship management solely hinges on whether it can bring them material gain. The sayings, "people die for wealth, birds die for food, and money makes the world go round," epitomize this life perspective. Physiological satisfaction life view. This life view focuses on fulfilling basic physiological desires, including food, clothing, shelter, transportation, and sexual pleasure. Those who adhere to this perspective spend their entire lives striving to maximize their quality of life in these aspects, emphasizing the importance of enjoying good food, dressing well, residing in comfortable accommodations, having reliable means of transportation, and fulfilling their sexual desires. The saying traveling 1,000 miles for an official position is all for good food and clothing exemplifies this view. Pursuit of fame and reputation life view. This life view believes that one's existence should be marked by leaving behind a name of honor. Therefore, those who hold this perspective highly value their personal integrity, reputation, and public recognition. Even if they cannot achieve everlasting fame, they are willing to be remembered, whether for good or ill, for thousands of years. Their life's purpose revolves around glorifying their ancestors, seeking glory, and achieving prominence throughout their lifetime. They aim to earn the praise and admiration of others and prioritize their public image over everything else. They are so concerned with their image that they would rather die with honor than live without it. The saying, "A wild goose leaves a voice, a person leaves a name," perfectly captures this life view. Self-centered life view. This life view asserts that the sun is at the center of the universe, the earth is at the center of the solar system, humans are at the center of all living beings, and the self is at the center of human society. Individuals adhering to this view prioritize self-satisfaction and self-improvement. They approach life with self-centeredness and self-interest, making decisions based on whether they benefit personally. This perspective is held by those who proclaim, "All is me, and I am all, and I am my own God." Acceptance of natural destiny. This life perspective believes that everything is predestined, merely acting out scenes in the cosmic drama. Individuals see themselves as mere chess pieces on the greatest creator's chessboard, considering personal endeavors and pursuits as futile. They are encouraged to passively accept their fate, adhering to the belief that there is a time for everything, and everything happens in its own time. Don't force anything when it's not meant to be. This epitomizes the essence of this life view. Human triumphs over destiny life view. This life perspective believes in the superiority of humans among all beings. It asserts that human happiness relies solely on self-creation, rejecting the notion of a savior or divine being in the universe. They actively work to reshape nature to align with human desires, fostering an optimistic and proactive approach to life. This life view is reflected in lyrics like, "There's never been any savior, no gods or emperors. To create human happiness, it's entirely up to ourselves," as sung in the Internationale. Self-sacrificing life view. This life view holds that life's purpose is to serve others and society. Those who embrace it prioritize benefiting sentient beings as their guiding principle. They are entirely selfless, dedicating themselves wholeheartedly to serving others and the public good. They emulate the dedication of the silkworm, spinning till death, and the candle, burning till it turns to ashes and dries up the tears. Individuals embracing this life view exemplify the phrase, "to exhaust oneself in service until death," devoting themselves entirely to guiding all sentient beings, embodying the pinnacle of this life view. Attaining immortality or Buddhahood life view. This life view regards life as illusory and the material world as a mere illusion. Everything in the worldly realm is seen as not worth pursuing. The primary goal in life, according to this perspective, is to elevate oneself and attain supreme enlightenment to reach heaven. As a result, individuals who hold this view are passionate about spiritual practice, cultivation techniques, and the dissemination of spiritual teachings. They are not inclined to marry, start families, or have children, nor do they wish to engage in the creation of the material world. They seek not life but immortality, and they long not for this world but for heaven. They do not have a concept of the greatest creator. Those who say, "Life is like a dream, and the four great elements are all empty," exemplify this life view. Life view of Chanyuan Celestials and Life Chanyuan. The life view of Chanyuan Celestial is a holographic life view, which encompasses 8 fundamental principles. Placing the greatest creator at the center and following the way of Tao. Reverence for the greatest creator, life, and nature. Walking the way of the greatest creator. The purpose of life is to attain joy, happiness, freedom, and bliss, maintaining an active, positive, and optimistic attitude and emotions. The value and significance of life lies in seeking to become an immortal. Life is considered meaningless if it doesn't lead to the ultimate destination of heaven. Thus, everything is perceived as a game, and only life is real. Taking things as they are, associate with others by following naturally come-and-go relations, act in accordance with our natures, and take advantage of opportunities as they arise. Preferring non-ownership, enjoying collective life, considering diligent work as life's top priority, while deeply abhorring laziness, selfishness, greed, possession, jealousy, and mutual comparisons. Regarding marriage and family life as a sea of suffering, Chanyuan celestials choose not to marry or have families. Embracing the motto, the sage is selfless and therefore becomes truly self, Chanyuan celestials consider selfless dedication as their guiding principle. Throughout their lives, they will strive to create the Life-Chanyuan era for humanity, so as to repay the accumulated debts from countless past lives and amassing treasures in heaven. 人生的成功和失败 Contrasting views on life success. Xiefeng, June 20th, 2013. Translation edited by Qinyu. The erroneous life views passed down over thousands of years need to be corrected. Traditionally, it is believed that a successful life means earning a fortune, achieving high official positions, gaining fame, bringing honor to one's ancestors, and being admired by others. In Life-Chanyuan, a successful life means living healthily, peacefully, smoothly, and satisfactorily throughout one's life, always being happy, joyful, free, and blessed. In the past, we believed that in order to lead a happy, joyful, free, and blessed life, certain prerequisites were necessary. The primary condition was to possess wealth, assets, and a substantial material foundation. Simultaneously, one needed to stand out among others, making people around them admire, envy, and look up to them. How could one achieve all of this? Confucianism taught that in books, one can find houses of gold, and in books, one can find faces as fair as jade. To become an extraordinary individual, one had to study diligently and exhaustively. Only through excellence in education can one gain recognition and official positions. Only with fame and authority can one amass wealth, allowing them to accumulate great fortunes. In the Qing dynasty, a virtuous magistrate for 3 years, amassing 100,000 silver taels. Even if one chose the path of an honest official, they could still acquire a substantial sum. However, if someone was even slightly greedy, their earnings over 3 years would surpass 100,000 silvers. At that point, they could have whatever they desired, whether they craved respect, beauty, or even supernatural favors. Nevertheless, does this represent a successful life? Even if it did, how many people could truly enjoy such a life of luxury? Thousands of troops and horses pass a single log bridge, but how many can make it across? Some fall off, get injured, or even drown in the river. Even if they all have managed to cross, they have grown old, their legs weaken, and by the time they reach middle or old age, their happy childhood has been drowned out by books, their beautiful youth gnawed away by books, and their blissful youthful years spent competing in the world of books. Is this what we call a successful life? I consider it the tragedy of life, a failure. After striving and toiling for most of their lives, what do they have to show for it? Not to mention middle age, even in old age, they haven't achieved the wealth, power, fame, gains, or carnal pleasures they idealized. What else can we call this but a failure in life? Therefore, the traditional concepts of success and failure in life are erroneous and must be corrected. Otherwise, the tragedy of life will continue. So, what is the path to a successful life? Childhood should be filled with joy. Youth should be filled with play, fun, and passions. Young adulthood should be filled with dreams and ideals. Middle age should be filled with diligent work. Old age should be filled with leisure and self-care. Reaching the end of life with no regrets, no hates, and no unfulfilled desires, being content and smiling even in the tomb, is an ideal and successful life because it aligns with the way of the greatest creator. Is it possible to achieve this? The answer is, undoubtedly. Where is this path? Answer: it can be found in the second home created by Life-Chanyuan. 生命禅院的返老还童，长生不老观. Life-Chanyuan's view on rejuvenation and longevity. Xiefeng, July 21st, 2013. Translation edited by Qinyu. Rejuvenation and longevity, a desire and pursuit that humanity has cherished for thousands of years, from emperors to common people. Qin Shi Huang dispatched Su Fu with 3,000 men and women to the Penglai fairy island in search of the elixir of immortality. It is said that Li Shimin, the Tang dynasty emperor, died after consuming elixirs like elixir of immortality and 5 stones powder. Peng Zhu, a legendary figure, lived for over 800 years and had 50 marriages. In the Bible, Adam lived for over 900 years. Li Qingyun, a Chinese herbalist in the late Qing dynasty and early Republic of China, lived for 256 years. He had 24 wives and continued teaching at a university even when he was 200 years old. Both the New York Times and Time magazine reported on his longevity. Ordinary people hope for a long life, while practitioners aspire to have forever white hair and youthful appearances, with an air of immortality and profound wisdom. Everything has a natural lifespan, and scientific research indicates that human cells undergo approximately 50 divisions from conception, with each division taking around 2.4 years. As a result, the natural lifespan of a human is estimated to be 120 years. Scientists at the University of California, Berkeley, have identified a longevity gene that can reverse cell degeneration related to aging by extending the cell division cycle. If the cell division cycle could be extended to 5 years, people might live to be 250 years old, while a 10-year cycle could lead to a lifespan of 500 years, and a 20-year cycle could result in living to 1,000 years. And if the cell division cycle extends indefinitely, it could potentially lead to immortality. Scientists have discovered a key area in the brain, the hypothalamus, which controls the aging process. By altering the signals sent to the hypothalamus, it is possible to slow down the aging process, allowing people to remain youthful. They have also found that when the pituitary gland shrinks, the human body rapidly ages. Restoring an aging pituitary gland to a youthful state could stimulate the body's neurological, endocrine, and metabolic systems to function normally, thereby delaying the aging of the body's joints and organs and achieving the ideal of rejuvenation, longevity, and immortality. To this end, the International Longevity Association and the United Nations Institute for Ecological Security have devoted themselves to researching anti-aging substances. After 43 years of research involving 107 experts, they have successfully extracted the miraculous anti-aging substance, the HD element, which rapidly restores the pituitary gland to its youthful state. In ancient legends, there was a woman who, due to her husband's prolonged absence, could not bear the loneliness and engaged in an affair with an elderly servant in her household. However, the elderly servant, being old and frail, struggled to satisfy the woman. In response, she gave the elderly servant a family secret formula called the elixir of the aged servant. After consuming it, the elderly servant underwent a transformation and became young again, eventually fathering 2 children with the woman. However, when the truth came to light, she killed the elderly servant, only to discover that his bone marrow was plump and his bones were strong. Long ago, there is a legend about a young woman who, carrying a wooden stick, was seen chasing an elderly man with snow-white hair along the road. Bystanders were outraged and tried to intervene, only to discover that the young woman claimed she was chasing her own son. It turned out that this young woman was actually over 100 years old. She had been consuming a type of pill made from a family secret recipe, which preserved her youthful appearance. Despite being well over a century old, she remained as agile as a swallow and retained her graceful figure. Her son, on the other hand, repeatedly refused to heed her advice and declined to take the pills she had prepared. As a result, by the time he was in his 70s, he had turned completely gray and aged significantly. This made the elderly woman quite angry, and she often chased after her son, pressuring him to take the pills. These pills were later known as Immortal Lesson Pills. They were later renamed the Immortal Mother's Aging Discipline Pills, and, after being further refined by the renowned physician Hua Tuo, they were given the names Longevity and Vigor Pills and Longevity and Vigor Kidney Nourishing Pills when they were adopted by the Imperial Court's medical establishment. British and Russian scientists believe that aging is a disease, and, like myocardial infarction and cancer, it is curable. They suggest that humans could live up to 1,000 years. Research has shown that telomeres, which control the number of times cells divide, are a key factor. Telomeres are repeated DNA sequences at the ends of chromosomes. With each cell division, telomeres lose approximately 30 to 200 base pairs. Typically, a human's telomeres have around 10,000 base pairs. When telomeres can no longer shorten, the cell can no longer divide. If telomeres could be prevented from shrinking, cells would continue to divide and replicate, just like cancer cells, and people could potentially live indefinitely. Life-genuine values hold that humans are created by the greatest creator and human lifespans are predetermined. The pursuit of physical immortality goes against the will of the greatest creator because the most just aspect of life on earth is the inevitability of physical death. It's only in the face of death that all individuals are equal. If people were able to achieve immortality, many injustices in the world would persist indefinitely. Emperors, generals, talented individuals, beauties, high-ranking officials, distinguished people, and ordinary people will all eventually die, and only then could new and continuously evolving phenomena emerge. It is through this cycle that people find hope in life. Life is finite, and seeking the infinite in life is as futile as looking for fish on a tree. Our sole endeavor should not be the pursuit of physical immortality, but rather to live our limited lives well, vibrantly, wholly, flavorfully, and without regrets. Not pursuing physical immortality doesn't mean we should not pursue the eternality of life. Human life consists of both physical and spiritual aspects, with the body serving as the vessel for the spirit. The body is mortal, but the spirit is eternal. Therefore, life-genuine celestials do not seek physical immortality. Instead, we seek the eternality of the spirit. We don't invest time, energy, and resources in the physical body, but instead cherish the precious time of our finite lives to nourish the spirit. Because our body cannot reach heaven, only our spirit can reach heaven. Pursuing the eternality of the spirit doesn't mean we don't value the physical body. The body, as the vessel of life, requires maintenance, much like a vehicle or a ship. Therefore, we prioritize the health of the body, we value well-being, and our ideal is for every individual to live 120 years free from illness, free from disasters, and free from pain. After living to 120 years, we utilize the Chanyuan meditation method to discard the vessel of life, the physical body, and joyfully move to the other shore, heading towards the 1,000-year world, the 10,000-year world, or the Elysium Islands continent. In this world, I will strive to ensure that Chanyuan celestials achieve the goal, to enjoy love until the age of 100 and live to the age of 120. So, how can we achieve the goal of enjoying love until 100 and living to 120, and then leave the vessel and go to a higher level of life? Please read the next article, The Transcendence of Time and Space.
重建人类价值观和生产生活秩序遐想
Envisioning the reconstruction of human values and production life order. Xiefeng, January 16, 2015. Translation edited by Qin Yu. The history of human society has been a tale of suffering and tears. 95% of the people who have lived on this planet, both in the past and today, have experienced distress, pain, sorrow, anxiety, and fear. This is clear evidence that the previous human value systems and the order of production and life have had issues. It is now time for all of humanity to ponder whether we can rebuild human values and the order of life. Below are my thoughts, intended to stimulate thinking and serve as a reference. The United Nations Secretary-General should act as the global president, and the United Nations Charter should replace the individual constitutions of nations. National borders should disappear, allowing people to move freely worldwide, promoting the fusion of cultures and nations. The global president must be unmarried, without a family or children. Political parties are the result of a struggle for interests. Political parties should gradually exit the stage of history. Religion has caused confusion in people's thinking and restrained mental liberation. Religion should gradually vanish. Globally, a universal belief system based on reverence for the greatest creator should be established, replacing the theory of evolution with the concept of creation. Serving others, society, and nature should be the core values for human existence. Building the soul garden should take precedence over economic development. All schools, from primary to university level, should include 2 additional courses, education on being human, and education on human-nature relations. Set aside all disputes, relinquish all grudges, grant amnesty to 75% of criminals, and significantly reduce military expenditures. Measure the effectiveness of rulers based on the happiness of the people. The traditional model of marriage and family life is a breeding ground for selfishness and troubles. A new model of life should replace the traditional one. All global affairs, including those of small social groups, must be entirely transparent, suppressing any secretive activities. Regional administrative officials should be appointed by the United Nations, not elected locally. For instance, Putin could be appointed as the administrative official for North America, Obama for the Middle East, and Xi Jinping for the European Union. Thinking beyond the ordinary, only with unconventional thinking can the divine open possibilities. Only extraordinary thinking can illuminate a path for humanity and bring about world peace and happiness for all. Is it challenging? Not really. Human wisdom is more than enough to overcome any challenges and realize the beautiful ideals that humanity has longed for. To implement this grand vision, I already have a concrete plan. This plan will not lead to chaos in the world. On the contrary, it will lead to a well-organized transition. 人类的未来应该是这样. The future of humanity should be like this. Dayform Buddha, January 21st, 2024. Translation edited by Qin Yu. Archaeologists, through scientific exploration and research, believe that humanity has faced extinction 4 times. The primary reasons for extinction were the overall spiritual degradation and dimming of human heart. The core factors of spiritual degradation were the pursuit of sensory pleasures, the relentless quest for power, and the competition for survival resources. The main signs of dimming heart were the disregard for the Creator, the lack of appreciation for natural resources and life. The current human society teeters on the cliff of spiritual degradation and dimming hearts again. Its main characteristics include an obsessive pursuit of wealth, boundless greed, extravagant squandering, insatiable desires, and a frenzy for competing for survival resources, comparable to the levels preceding the 4 previous human extinctions. Humanity faces an imminent crisis. I am pointing out the path for humanity to ponder its future. Choosing the path of socialist collectivization means that the toiling masses can only live in poverty, but the overall human lifespan will extend. Opting for the capitalist path of market-oriented capitalism means that the toiling masses can lead affluent lives, but the overall human lifespan will shorten. Neither socialism nor capitalism is an ideal path. The socialist collectivization path inevitably leads to poverty, while the capitalist market-oriented path, although bringing affluence and maximal development of productivity, will deplete natural resources, leading to a backlash from nature. Other paths, such as military control, are purely barbaric and will result in poverty and societal chaos. The most ideal path for the future of humanity is Xiefeng-style communism. Please note, it is not the communism advocated and practiced by Marx, Lenin, Mao Zedong, but Xiefeng-style communism. Xiefeng-style communism has been practiced on Earth for 15 years, which can permanently solve nearly 90% of the challenges humanity faces, such as territorial disputes between nations and elder support issues, among others. The more extensive and detailed the content and clauses in constitutions, laws, and regulations, the more problems will arise. More management personnel lead to higher societal operational costs. Therefore, all constitutions, laws, and regulations should be abolished and replaced with values for the orderly functioning of society. To this end, I have prepared 800 values for new era humanity. To live a happy life and ensure the continued existence of humanity on Earth, all humans must undergo a spiritual purification. I have also prepared the course for spiritual purification for humanity. 错误的意识葬送着幸福和美好未来. Wrong consciousnesses will ruin happy and beautiful future. Xiefeng, March 21st, 2011. Translation edited by Qin Yu. I, Xiefeng, regardless of my own limitations, speak words of gold and jade. Those who believe and act upon my words will reap boundless benefits and a bright future, while those who doubt and act according to their own desires will suffer endless torment and a bleak future. I seek truth pragmatically and confront human nature directly. My understanding and exploration of time, space, Buddhism, human nature, life, thinking, consciousness, nature, love, and Tao are profound. In this world, only I can guide people towards a life of happiness and a bright future. With boundless love and compassion, I hold deep respect and affection for every life. I have the ability to alleviate all suffering. However, even the most skilled doctor is useless if the patient refuses their prescription. There is no one else in the world who serves as tirelessly and diligently as I do. Hating me, that's the tragedy of your life and life. Loving me, that's the blessing of your life and life. I am crystal clear, untouched by even the slightest speck of dust. If you perceive me as filthy and sullied, it's because the dust has clouded your vision. Those who forsake me, abandon me, you are the most ignorant beings under the heavens. Misery will inevitably cling to you tightly, and the lower realms of life will be your destined abode. Those who cannot perceive my love are like blind men unable to see the sun. Leaving me in arrogance is akin to a blind man wandering into hell unaware. Joy, happiness, freedom, and blessedness abound in life. Your inability to experience them stems not from life's shortcomings or deception, but from the distortion of reality by your own erroneous and distorted consciousness, much like how colorblind individuals cannot see the vibrant spectrum of light. When you find yourself in excruciating pain upon discovering that the person you love is engaging in sexual activities with someone else, take a moment to reflect. What is the root cause of your suffering? Is it the person engaging in the act of love? Is it the circumstances surrounding their lovemaking? Neither. It is your own consciousness. It is the desire to possess the beloved. It is your own jealous mindset. Without the consciousness of possession and jealousy, where does the suffering come from? Why do others not suffer when engaging in the same act with the same person? If your consciousness were to shift, and you were to genuinely feel joy and happiness for the happiness of your beloved, where would the suffering originate? Isn't this simply a matter of your own consciousness? All suffering in life arises from erroneous consciousness, undermining personal happiness and a bright future. To transcend suffering and ascend to heaven, one must begin by transforming their consciousness, rather than attempting to change others or the world. Failure to correct your misguided consciousness will leave you devoid of joy and happiness, whether you traverse the globe or ascend to heaven. Continuing to attribute your suffering to others ensures it will persist indefinitely. To escape suffering and attain happiness, one must only change their consciousness. Abandon your pitiful self-esteem and vanity. Renounce the values fettered by traditional morality. Do not endure endless torment for the sake of illusions. Otherwise, you may preserve various chastity archways. But what about your true happiness and joy? It's like the mute swallowing bitterness. Only you can feel it.
人的幸福和痛苦来源叹息。
Analysis of the source of human happiness and suffering. Xiefeng, December 1st, 2023. Translation edited by Chinyo. Everyone has experienced moments of happiness as well as moments of pain. So, where does happiness or pain come from? What factors lead to it? Fundamentally, the world is not wrong. All faults lie within ourselves. If the happy Adam and Eve had followed the warning of the owner of Eden not to eat the forbidden fruit, then the suffering of being expelled from the Garden of Eden would not have occurred. Therefore, Adam and Eve's pain originated from within themselves due to their own actions. In fact, when we observe the happiness and pain that each person experiences, once we trace it back to its source, we will inevitably find that the root cause of happiness or suffering is oneself, without exception. As we continue to explore, we will discover that the pivotal moments leading to our happiness or suffering stem from how we interact with familiar individuals. Our choice of words, emotional responses, attitudes, and behavior towards them. When we communicate with others using gentle and warm language, maintain pleasant and joyful emotions, display an elegant and positive attitude, and exhibit caring and protective behavior, the feedback we receive from those around us is predominantly happiness. Conversely, if our communication is negative, our emotions are marked by anger and disgust, our attitude is abrasive, and our behavior is harmful, then the feedback we receive from those around us tends to be filled with pain. Furthermore, we will find that the closer people are to us, the easier it is for them to bring happiness or suffering. Parents, children, husbands, wives, lovers, neighbors, relatives, friends, classmates, colleagues, superiors, subordinates, idols, fans, etc., are the main sources of happiness or suffering for ourselves. Individuals in middle age and older adults should deeply feel this phenomenon. In the process of interacting with people close to us, there is too much helplessness and sadness, as well as unspeakable bitterness in our hearts. Knowing the source of happiness and suffering for each person, we should effectively solve this problem, that is, to maximize happiness and minimize suffering. But a sadly obvious fact is that humanity has survived for thousands of years without fundamentally solving this problem. People have mostly tried to alleviate confronts and conflicts between individuals from the perspective of morality and ethics. But the reality tells us that whether it is advocating for gentleness, kindness, modesty, frugality, and humility, or advocating for benevolence, righteousness, ritual, wisdom, and credibility, whether it is trying to use religious teachings or legal perspectives, none have completely solved the troubles and pains of human interaction. The birth of Rejuvenation, particularly the emergence of the new human production and living mode created by Rejuvenation, effectively alleviated the pain caused by interacting with close individuals. The 15-year practice of living in the second home demonstrates that people can interact with each other harmoniously and amicably. This interaction not only brings more joy and happiness, but also significantly reduces the troubles and pains associated with human interaction. I hope this will draw the attention and exploration of all individuals worldwide who struggle with getting along with close people. Throughout human history, only the innovative production and living mode established by Rejuvenation, namely the second home model, have been able to address the troubles and pains of human life.
人类的出路，雪峰是共产主义。
The future of humanity, Siefeng-style communism. Siefeng, March 2nd, 2024. Translation edited by Chinyo. Reviewing history, whether in Europe, Africa, Asia, the Americas, or Oceania, the recurring themes have been war, hunger, disease, turmoil, and various natural disasters. No nation, no individual has lived a life filled with joy, happiness, freedom, and bliss. The historical facts of the past 5,000 years of the current human civilization tell us that nations, religions, political parties, money, and power cannot solve the suffering of humanity. Instead, they not only fail to solve it, but also increase the burden and suffering of humanity. Since nations, religions, political parties, money, and power cannot alleviate human suffering and, in fact, add to it, the logical solution is for nations to disappear, for religions to vanish, for political parties to cease, for money to be eliminated, and for power to be eradicated. Will humanity revert to a primitive era, tribal times, or city-states if nations, religions, political parties, money, and power disappear? The answer is a resounding no. As the overall cognitive level of humanity has risen, technology has advanced, thinking has become more dynamic, knowledge and wisdom have reached unprecedented levels. People no longer wish to regress to the past, just as an increasing number of individuals are reluctant to enter the marital and familial hardships. In the absence of nations, religions, political parties, money, and power, where will humanity go? The answer is, towards the era of Rejuvenation, also known as Siefeng-style communism, or the kingdom of the greatest creator. In Rejuvenation era, within the Siefeng-style communism program, there will be no nations, religions, political parties, money, power, marriages, or families. In Rejuvenation era, under the program of Siefeng-style communism, there will be no constitutions, laws, or regulations. Instead, individuals will adhere to a set of values guiding their conduct. In Siefeng-style communism, resources are shared worldwide. Everyone possesses nothing yet owns everything, and individuals, unselfish and selfless, create the most magnificent symphony of life. Can't imagine it? Impossible? In the universe, there is nothing that is impossible. There are only things that one cannot imagine and thoughts one cannot conceive, but nothing is truly impossible. All material phenomena are the outcomes of consciousness. The essence of the world lies in the formless manifestations. If the above is considered mere conceptual and theoretical exploration, termed as fantasy utopian communism, I assert the future of humanity is the Siefeng-style communism because it is backed by the practical activity of Life-Genuine, a new model of human production and life, the second home, which started in April 2009 and has been successfully running for 15 years with a wealth of information available, textual, visual, and video descriptions in the online world. To enter the Siefeng-style communist lifestyle, everything is possible, but the biggest challenge is that all of humanity needs a profound spiritual purification, a monumental and challenging undertaking. The core of spiritual purification lies in the construction of the human soul garden. The main task of building the soul garden is to uproot negative and pessimistic psychological and emotional elements such as greed, jealousy, comparison, selfishness, laziness, complaints, hatred, and ego from the human heart. Despite people's beliefs or willingness, the program has already been initiated. The future of humanity is Siefeng-style communism. 人类的未来, the future of mankind. Siefeng, March 15th, 2024. Translation edited by Qin Yu. The future of mankind lies in Siefeng-style communism, a future that may be realized within the next 20 years. The evidence is as follows. The first is natural laws. Natural laws operate independently of human will. Regardless of how great an individual is, or how powerful a country or group may be, they cannot resist natural laws. It's akin to the inevitability of death, which is beyond resistance. All measures and methods that attempt to resist natural laws will inevitably end in failure. New things will invariably replace old ones. Who can still see ox carts and horse carts on bustling streets? None, because automobiles have replaced them. Marriage and family are set to disappear. They are the crystallization of the production relations of the traditional era. As humans enter the network era, people's social relations become extremely complex and vast. The traditional family, once a haven, in turn, becomes the biggest burden and obstacle to personal development and change. Therefore, with people's awakening and the demand for improving the quality and taste of life, people will gradually distance themselves from marriage and family. An astonishing factor is that Jesus Christ, Buddha Shakyamuni, and the celestial Laozi have never advocated for marriage and family. Organizational control will come to an end. Before the advent of the internet, the government and major media controlled public opinion. In the internet era, everyone has the potential to influence public opinion in a self-media way. A self-media influencer with millions of fans may even surpass the public opinion influence and even the appeal of a government.